Riders plague the countryside from ghost life. They see the side your mind is turning, bodies burning, riders sleep through the night. Brainwashed robots dying fast.
Hey, Middle-earth role-playing fans, Roman Daisel here. Today we're going to be looking at Mirkwood, the Wilds of Rhovanion. This is number 4010 in the campaign module series. For some reason they skipped 4000, but oh well. And now this one is basically a revised campaign supplement combining both northern and southern Mirkwood. Why did they do this? Because they discontinued northern Mirkwood and southern Mirkwood and decided to combine them into one version for a second edition. Though this could be a third edition northern Mirkwood because there are two different covers for the northern Mirkwood book that I've seen in English. This one was released in 1988. I probably bought this in 1989 or 1990 at Imperial Hobbies. Probably paid $25-30 for it. Now most of the material in here is copied from the northern and southern Mirkwood. There are a few changes, so we won't go through the whole book, but just go through the main changes that they put in, or anything different. So I already bought in this book before I got the northern and southern Mirkwood because they were discontinued. I later went back to eBay when it was first coming out and bought northern and southern Mirkwood. So this is my first introduction to that. So I thought this was a really cool book at the time. Now it did come with two maps. You have the southern Mirkwood map, which is exactly like the map you get in the original. Nothing different there. And again, the layouts of the back, same thing, nothing different. You get Dol Guldur, Eothram town of Bur Alga, and then a Woodman town. And it gives a description. So that's pretty cool. And then you also get the northern Mirkwood, same as the northern Mirkwood module. On this side, it gives two regional maps and then two smaller maps of Dale that weren't in color. The only drawback to having both these maps in one module is they don't quite fit. You can see there is a gap. Southern Mirkwood goes more westward, while northern Mirkwood goes more eastward towards the Iron Hills. And there's about a half-inch gap, maybe more, in between these two modules, which kind of sucks. I wish they'd remade this into one big campaign map. It would have been so much cooler. They could have went out a little more and out a little more there and combined them. What's cool about the southern Mirkwood maps is you can combine them with the maps from Lorien, Fangorn, Rohan, and make a truly big scene. Alright, so, like I said, everything is pretty much the same in this book. They've combined the Rhovanion history into one thing. Nothing majorly new here. A slightly bigger tale of years. Then they go into the land of northern. Again, nothing really new. Goes more detail into the climate and ecology. I know northern, so they just give a weather calendar. This time they actually talk about it. So that is something a little more in-depth, but not particularly useful. Flora and the fauna, again, the same as what they had in the other book. Animals, they did give a herb effect chart. I'm not sure if they did that in northern or southern Rhovania or Mirkwood. Fauna, there are creatures of note, dark creatures, giant races, spiders, fell beasts. Pretty much the same as before. Other creatures, the other evil creatures they have. Then you have the roads. Northern and southern Mirkwood were more disjointed. Everything was not. This is better organized than the original books, and they give more regional maps. Then you go into peoples and cultures. You have the Wood-elves, the Dwarves, the Northmen. So they break down the Eothram, the Grammas, the urban Northmen, the Beornings, the Woodmen, the settlers from Gondor, the Dunedain, and the Easterlings. They talk more about the Easterlings in this one. Give better pictures. This one looks right out of something from Conan the Barbarian. Politics and power. They essentially upgraded the political map. That one was new. Like I said, I'm hurrying this along because it's all really northern and southern Mirkwood. There's not much new. Talks about the Necromancer, the Cult of the Long Night, the Witch Kingdom. It talks about that. The Sights of Men, Plains, Homesteads, Dale. It does give a ruined map of Dale, as opposed to when Dale was vibrant. That's just a little insert. It talks about the people in the town of Dale, life in the lake town. This is all just basically rehashing what they already did. It talks about the holy Kurok and gives a pretty good description of that. Bura Ligra. It was hard going through to pinpoint exactly what was different. Bur-Wudu, Thranduil, Lena. The Elven King's Halls was Celebanon. Doesn't really go into much detail about the Elven King's Halls. For the Elven King's Halls, you really need to go to this one, the Fortress of Middle-earth, the Halls of the Elven King. That gives you so much better detail. The original Halls of the Elven King that they had in the Northern Mirkwood book, they called it a place called Careless Amarth, which is basically the home of Orifer, Thranduil's father, in Mirkwood, but Thranduil later removed it from its location in central Mirkwood up into northern Mirkwood as a response to Dol Guldur. But it gives you the same layout that they did during the original Northern Mirkwood book. As for Dwarven sites, they do give you something about the Iron Hills, which they didn't originally, so that's new. And they give you a pretty cool map of that. So that's new. The Iron Hills complex, which I thought was pretty cool, something they should have added. And then Erebor. They never give you a really good description of Erebor. Erebor is a mountain. It goes deep in the earth too. And they only give you 2 pages of maps, level 1 and level 2. The Chamber of Thrar, and then a level 3 at the very top. Talks more about Roscoble, Radagast's home, Dol Guldur, Saruman's refuge. They don't really make too many changes to this. So far it's been pretty much the same. I couldn't spot any real differences. They might make more, they describe more things, that's about it. Add a few rooms. Even the throne room's the same with the eye. And for some reason it has level 8 here, and then it goes into the Elven King's Gate. So other dark sites, that's in the Southern Mirkwood book. The Nahad Kulden, that's there. The Cult of the Long Knives live. Then it gives you the people of note. Nothing again. There's nothing really new. They're all in the other book. The other 2 books. And it's just rehashing everything that was there in one cool book. The adventures, it's got the Grey Mountains adventures, which are kind of cool. Some orc holds, a burial site. The Ethereal Bullock, that's something new in the Cirith Agas. Whereas these two are new sites. You got Adventures in Mirkwood, but do give a few new things. You really have to go through a fine tooth to find everything. Action. Gives you possible storylines, suggested storylines, possibilities. The appendices were much more better. The economic tables, enchanted items. Glossary of terms, which is something they didn't have. The master military table was, again, pretty much the same. They just combined it. I wish they'd given for different eras. They'd gone back in and said, okay, we'll do one for the Second Age, just before the War of the Last Alliance. Then we'll do TA 1000, then like Third Age 1000. Then we'll do Third Age 1640 after the Great Plague. Then we'll do Third Age 2500. Then we'll do Third Age War of the Ring. That would have been really cool, but they never did that. But they do list some pretty cool stuff. Then you have all the NPC characters, Master Beast table, and your dragons. So this was a very quick review because this has all been done before. All you have to do is check out Northern and Southern Mirkwood, and it's the same thing. So I was really hoping that they would expand more upon things after getting the first 2 books. But realizing that it was just the same, it was like, oh, it's part of the collection. That's all I can say. But I did get this one first, and I enjoyed it. I've used the Master Military table several times, and I've sent adventurers up there into that area a lot. And it was an enjoyable book. So I'd have to rank this in the middle as far as adventures go. There are better places to go. But if you want to go there and back again, you have to have the Mirkwood book. Anyway, this was a very quick review because it's been done before. Anyone else out there have this particular book? Any thoughts on it? What should they have done to expand upon it? And until next time, this is Roman Daysel. I'm out of here.